Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With the Spain news update, we'll have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently. Before I begin, a big thanks to all of the people that have supported this channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee through the super thanks option on YouTube, my patrons on Patreon, and channel members of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for the support. Now straight into the news, and Carles Puigdemont, the fugitive Catalan independence leader, is still making headlines in Spain, unfortunately, and he's still going on about independence for Catalonia, unfortunately. And as we can read here, Puigdemont calls for Catalan independence. It's the only thing that can ensure our health and well-being, he says. Carles Puigdemont, the Junts candidate for the Catalan elections on the 12th of May, defended an independent Catalonia on Tuesday. He assures that it has become very clear that the only thing that can ensure our health and well-being with all political, intellectual and ethical honesty is independence. This is what the fugitive former president of the Generalitat explained after announcing the Vernet agreement. The goal is clear: to finish the job. The agreement is a pact with other pro-independence parties of lesser influence with which he will form his list to run in the elections and thus incorporate more views, experiences and knowledge. Puigdemont once again calls for independence because he says that the costs of dependence on the Spanish state are extremely high and unsustainable. So there we go for Mr. Puigdemont. The goal is clear. It is to finish the job and obtain independence for Catalonia. So a big thanks to Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez for opening up this can of worms again. And I don't know what your opinion on this matter is, but a lot of people that I have spoken to think that Mr. Puigdemont's return to mainstream Spanish politics will have more negative effects than positive effects for the majority of Spaniards. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, the second piece of news we'll look at today, and it's about Spain's biggest telecommunications company, Telefonica, and the fact that the government has recently bought a 3% stake in that company. And as we can read here, the government rushes the purchase of Telefonica shares in order to appoint a board member as soon as possible. Government spokesperson Pilar Alegría yesterday left little doubt as to the timetable she has for completing the purchase of the 10% stake in Telefonica that SEPI has ordered. As soon as possible, said the Minister of Education, Vocational Training and Sport when asked at the press conference following the Council of Ministers, making it clear that the government will pursue an aggressive purchasing policy. The minister also added the phrase, as long as it does not affect the share price, but the effect was immediate on the share price, which went from trading flat to rising more than 2%. Finally, at the close of trading, there was profit taking and the shares ended up rising 1.83% to 4.06 euros, which means recovering for the first time the threshold of 4 euros since the government authorised SEPI to buy its stake, and the highest value of the shares since last May. So there we go, this 3% government stake in Telefonica having a positive effect on the share price of that company. And as we saw there, the government has the objective of getting a 10% share in this company as soon as possible. And the reason for this purchase? Well, it wants to get somebody on the board of this company in order to nullify the effect that the Saudis have had with their recent 10% purchase in their company. And when I say recent, over the last 12 months or so, I think it was. So we'll see if the government stake in this company has a positive or negative effect long-term on the share price. Because as we saw yesterday, Telefonica over the last 5 years has lost around 46% of its market value. Now, the next piece of news we'll look at today, and there's an update to the Telegram story that we saw on Monday. On Monday, we saw an article saying that a judge in Spain was going to ban the use of that social media platform in the country because of various complaints from media companies that their content was being uploaded to Telegram without their permission. Well, Telegram will not be blocked in Spain. The block imposed by the Audiencia Nacional in response to the complaint filed by several companies for allegedly illegally hosting copyrighted audiovisual content has been suspended by Judge Santiago Pedraz until the details of the report carried out by the General Directorate of Information are shared. So there we go, Telegram in Spain will not be banned, or at least not yet. The judge in question has decided to wait until he gets more information on the matter, and then no doubt he will take a final decision. So good news for Telegram users in Spain, good news for now, but we don't know what the future holds for this platform in Spain. And thanks to the people that left comments after yesterday's live stream pointing out to me that Telegram had not been blocked. Now let's have a look at some comments that have been left on videos recently. One here from Digger: who would have thought it? A man nicking electric. The squatters in my street are nicking the electric. When Iberdrola turn up to disconnect them, they make a big song and dance about it, saying they are legal, but let them cut it off. Then wait 10 minutes and reconnect themselves in front of all the neighbours. In the end, Iberdrola just give up and let them get on with it. Yeah, Digger, thanks for the comment, and referring to an article that we saw in yesterday's live stream about how the mayor of a small town here in Spain, I think in Navarra, has been caught red-handed rigging her electric meter. Not only her, but 30 of her neighbours also were caught up in this scam. And Digger also pointing out that squatters in his area are connecting illegally to the electricity supply. The company comes by and cuts them off, but 10 minutes later they reconnect illegally to the grid. But let's be honest about this, if people of responsibility are rigging their electric meters in Spain, imagine how many other people are doing it too. One here from Young Spirit: it's just not acceptable behaviour to place a kiss on someone, whether female or male. I am so happy the younger people are not putting up with this inappropriate behaviour. Yeah, Young Spirit, thanks for the comment, and obviously referring to that famous kiss that we saw last year between the head of the Spanish Football Federation and a player after the Women's World Cup victory, which subsequently led to that person's downfall. The head of the Spanish Football Federation, that is Luis Rubiales is his name, and unfortunately he's still making headlines in Spain because now he is caught up in an alleged corruption scandal involving that football federation. And I would agree with you that it is not acceptable to place a kiss on somebody's lips, especially when you don't have consent from the other person, and that's what happened to Mr. Rubiales. However, kissing, as we know, is widespread in Spain. Every time you meet somebody, you give them a kiss, albeit on the cheek. So it's acceptable to give 2 kisses to somebody on the cheek in Spain, but not acceptable to give somebody a kiss on the lips without their consent. So keep that in mind. One here from Richard: hi Stu, very enjoyable. We're not on the same page politically, but I do believe that we should discuss our differences and respect our joint opinions. Thanks so much. Yeah, Richard, thanks for the comment, and absolutely, we should all be able to sit down and discuss our differences, especially our political differences. We don't all have to agree on everything, that is true, and we should be able to respect each other's opinions, no matter how different they are. And let's be honest, the world would be a better place if more people did this. Right? One here from Vicky: Stuart, my son had 3 Cadbury cream eggs confiscated at Dublin Airport on his way back to Madrid recently. Apparently the centres are considered liquid. He was bringing them to some friends who had never heard of them and was fairly fed up. Yeah, Vicky, thanks for the comment, and we started this discussion on yesterday's live stream because somebody mentioned that in their opinion it is ridiculous that we still have these rules and regulations when it comes to travelling with liquids through airports. Apparently, there are new scanners in some airports around the world where it doesn't matter how much liquid you have in your luggage, but at some airports still, they are very, very strict. For example, at airports in Spain, I believe, and also at Dublin Airport, as you pointed out there, because your son couldn't travel with those 3 Easter eggs. So let's hope that airports around the world get on the same page, upgrade their scanners, so that rules and regulations when it comes to traveling are the same no matter where you go. One here from Tony: at the moment, my Telegram is still working. Yeah, Tony, thanks for the comment, and Tony is one of the people that brought my attention to the update in this story. I mentioned on Monday that a judge was going to ban Telegram, but as we saw today, that decision has changed. He's waiting for more information, and Telegram has not been banned yet. I say yet because there is still a possibility that it will be banned. So as I said before, good news for all Telegram users in Spain. You can still use the application, but for how long? I don't know. And the final one here from Ed, Stu's back in witness protection. No hints on his whereabouts in the comments, please. Yeah, thanks for the comment, obviously referring to the fact that I'm not in my usual location in Madrid. I'm in this secret location here, and some people have mentioned that perhaps I'm in witness protection. That is not the case. I'm in Portugal, having a break from Spain, a break from Madrid, trying to get away from it all. Unfortunately, the weather's been a bit dodgy, but luckily now the sun is shining, and I'll just point the camera around so you can see a picture out there. It's a bit blurred because it is quite sunny, but the weather is not too bad now. So that is a pro, and hopefully now I can get out and enjoy the day. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, please, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from Portugal.